Hey, everybody out there in YouTube world. This is Hans coming at you with Iron Sharpens Iron. Thanks for subscribing. If you've subscribed to my channel, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I wanted to try something new today. I wanted to try a different video that I wanted to make, and the topic would be pain management. So for all those veterans out there who use the Veterans Affairs to get their medical, their mental health, things like that. One of the groups that they have with the VA is pain management, and it may not be what you think it is. When we talk about pain management, I'm not talking about seeing a doctor who then prescribes you medication. Pain management group is where you get together with a group and there is a doctor, but it's about managing pain in alternative ways. So not using medications. And I know that one of the complaints from veterans, in myself, and I've heard this today actually when I was in the group, was that the Veterans Affairs likes to just give medications, right? Because they just kind of, in a sense, want to deal with the problem as quickly as possible with minimal effort, and they kind of just give you the medication and there's really no follow-up. It's just, here you go, take this, it'll feel better. But this pain management group is an alternative to that. And what I found interesting is the veterans in my group today, all different walks of life. There are two that I believe were retired military. I believe there was one Special Forces soldier, and then there was one other Marine, myself, and another gentleman from the Army who retired. And they just were talking about the pain that affects them and what it does to their life and things like that. So anyway, we were going through and we were talking about group. The doctor referenced an article on Psychology Today, and it's called A Tale of Two Nails, What Changes Pain. And all the websites here, I'm going to send a link in the description below so everybody can reference this. So you don't have to be a veteran either to look at this stuff. I hope it helps everybody, not just veterans, first responders, or just folks, regular folks. So going through here, this is the tale of two nails, what changes pain. So when we talk about pain, especially on the psychological level, right, we're looking at what pain is and what it does. And obviously pain is a good thing. It tells us that there's something wrong, that there's something that needs to be fixed, right? That and it's a good thing, and it does warn us, and it tells us that something's wrong. So I'm just going to go through here and read a little bit. So on the top here it says pain is never purely physical. You may believe that pain is purely biological process, has nothing to do with your thoughts, perceptions, or emotions. And it says here too, down here, it says, Western medicine has incorrectly and dangerously divided humans into two disconnected entities, mind, meaning mental, and body, meaning physical. When it comes to pain, divide couldn't be less helpful or more wrong. Thoughts and beliefs, perceptions, emotions, past experience, context, and input from your body all affect your experience of pain. Now that's coming from probably a scholarly article or research that was done by Edwards, 2016. So as we're going down here, they have two case studies. So the first case study here, and this kind of gives the idea that sometimes pain is just about perception, right? It's just about perception. It's psychological. So this first case study with a nail in a boot. So British Medical Journal reported on a 29-year-old construction worker who suffered an accident. Now, he jumped on a plank, and a 7-inch nail pierced his boot clear through the other side. In terrible pain, he was carted off to the ER, sedated with opiates, and when doctors took a little bit closer look, doctors removed his boot, discovered a miracle. The nail had passed in between his toes without penetrating his skin. And there was zero damage to his foot, so no blood, no puncture wound, not even a scratch. But how did he perceive that the pain was real and what was actually happening was real? So it says here, the sensory receptors in the man's body reported to his brain that there had been an accident and that a nail had penetrated his boot. His brain, perceiving a potential threat to his safety and well-being, used the context to determine what had occurred, collecting information from his 5 senses, including the visual of a nail sticking out of his shoe, knowledge of the dangerous work environment and its risk, his co-workers' horrified faces, and other data to make a guesstimate about what happened and how to respond. So therefore, his brain, synthesizing the sum total of this information, decided that he was in danger, so it made pain to protect him. So, and oddly enough, when doctors had pulled the boot off, were looking at the boot more closely, it realized it didn't even touch the skin at all. So that was interesting. And what I mean by this is, it helps us, of those, dealing with pain on a day-to-day basis, to help manage it, kind of take a look at this from this context and see, okay, what, is there, different techniques mentally, psychologically, that we can employ to help manage pain instead of just running to the medicine cabinet. So a second case study here is a nail to the face. So this is the total opposite. Again, another construction worker, which is a dangerous job. He was using a nail gun when it unexpectedly discharged, clocking him in the face. Other than a mild toothache and a bruise under his jaw, he thought he had escaped relatively unscathed. 6 days later, 6 days of eating and sleeping, going to work, he went to the dentist. Much to his surprise, an x-ray revealed a 4-inch nail was embedded in his head. Indeed, the nail had pierced his cerebral cortex, putting him potentially in grave danger. So this is the total opposite, where he had minimal pain. So it said, other than a mild toothache and a bruise under his jaw, he thought that he kind of was good to go. But after that, there was an x-ray that revealed this 4-inch nail was embedded in his head and actually pierced the cerebral cortex, putting him potentially in danger. And so because of that, it was obviously alerted that he needed further medical attention. So oddly enough, this is another one where there was minimal pain, right? But the danger was significant. So there's several points here, and one of the quotes that they have in the article, it says, just because something hurts doesn't necessarily mean your body is of danger or harm. So just because something hurts does not necessarily mean your body is in harm. Hurt and harm are not the same. So just the takeaway from this, at least from what I gather, is that, pain management can also be done through different techniques and methods to try and help manage it and deal with it. So there was one interesting technique the doctor brought up, and he talked about biofeedback. So biofeedback, and this is the Mayo Clinic. Again, I'm going to put all these in the description, but biofeedback here is a type of mind-body technique you use to control some of your body's functions, such as your heart rate, breathing patterns, and muscle responses. During biofeedback, you're connected to electrical pads that help you get information about your body. And then it talks about, you may not realize it, but when you have pain or under stress, your body changes, right? So your heart rate increases, your breathing may increase, right? So trying to get that relaxed, right? Trying to control your breathing and your heart rate may help you deal with that. So there's different types of biofeedback. So if we're looking at breathing, right? So during breathing, biofeedback, bands are placed around your stomach and chest. Sensors on the bands check your breathing rate and patterns. You can control your breathing and feel better. So one technique for breathing is called box breathing. And box breathing is a technique. It's also called combat breathing as well, for those in the military, like they know combat breathing. But box breathing, and again, I'll put the link in the description below for box breathing. What it does is it helps engage your parasympathetic system. And your parasympathetic system has to deal with lowering and decreasing your heart rate and your breathing. And what that does is allow blood flow and your your fine motor skills to be refined, so you can deal with stress and even pain better. And there's some other ones on here: brain waves, heart rate, muscle activity, sweat gland activity, things like that. Also temperature. One thing to note about temperature, one thing that I learned from DBT, which stands for dialectical behavioral treatment and therapy, is that if you use temperature, we can use temperature to actually reduce stress. So taking like ice pack or using cold water and putting it on your face, or putting the ice pack up to your forehead, that instant temperature change, your body reacts to that. And often, if I found that it works, it's very effective in reducing stress. So that's a good one. And again, I'm going to put this link in the description below that will help you. And there's a lot of good information on here. It talks about different things that biofeedback and just what it does to help any like physical and mental health problems. And then it just kind of gives a list of what it might be able to help you with. The other thing that biofeedback is good is it appeals to people for a variety of reasons, right? No surgery. It might lower or end the need for medicines, right? Like that's a big one in my group. A lot of veterans, including myself, we want to reduce the amount of medications that the VA provides to us, because we don't like it. We don't want to use that, to deal with and manage with pain. But that's one big key point there. Or it might even help the medications work better. And it also takes more control. It allows you more control over your health. So, but it does say it's not right for everybody. So it does, vary depending on people to people. But I hope this helps. I'm going to give, I'm going to put the link in the description below. All the links, even for box breathing here. This talks about box breathing here. And again, this is also called combat breathing. If you look here, it even references the U.S. Navy SEALs and how they're using it as well. And, there's other names for the technique: 4x4 breathing, 4x4 breathing, or equal breathing, 4-square breathing, etc. And I'm going to put the this link in the description below too, so you can find that. So, hey guys, hopefully this helps. Hopefully this provides you with some information, good information. And I'm going to be creating some other videos too. Also one about the DBT treatment. I've got my packet up here. Dialectical behavioral therapy pre-treatment guide, so I'll probably going over some of that. There's some cool stuff here as well, and so I'll be making some more videos about that. So hope this helps. I hope you guys, everyone has a blessed day, and see you on the next video. Bye.